It's peacock o'clock time! Woo! Hello guys! Today it's going to be about dating. Since it's Valentine's Day, I thought that would be a perfect day to talk about date ideas. Let me know some if I don't mention any good ones below. I feel like once you get married, and then especially when you have children, dating kind of doesn't happen very often, and when it does, you're usually limited on time or money or I feel like I lose ideas, and we just do the same thing all the time, which is fine. But every so often you kind of want to change it up. So tonight my lovely friend is, she gave me a scavenger hunt to do. So for a date tonight for Valentine's Day, my husband and I are going to have a scavenger hunt at the mall. We'll see how it goes. I feel like also as I get older, I'm always parent adult mode, and I have a hard time being like kid-like in the fact of being funny and having fun. I feel like I have to be like not serious all the time, but very, oh, let's not do that, like we're grown-ups, come on now. I have my moments of fun, but I definitely lack spontaneity, and I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, and really truly enjoying not having to be a parent for a few hours. It's hard to just turn that off. Ooh, side note though, I got my pink shirt on for Valentine's Day. I don't know if you could see it, but it's a peacock. It's my peacock shirt that I have. I love it. It's one of my favorites. I've had 2 in my lifetime as a peacock, and this one's my favorite. The other one, it was okay. It was kind of like a orangey yellow color, like mustardy, and the color just didn't work for me. Not that I'm a super pink girl, but it's not like crazy stand out, and you don't even notice the peacock right away. Anyways, so I am set for Valentine's Day. All my kids have either red or pink on, so let's see. So a few ideas. Scavenger hunt. It can be at the mall. It can be just outside. It can be at a museum, I found as an idea. One time, I think 2 or 3 years ago for Christmas, I gave my husband pre-planned year worth of dating. So it was 1 date at home in January and 1 date out in January for every month. And that went pretty well. I think halfway through is when we moved, so things might have got a little messed up. But we stuck to it for the most part. I could only plan so much ahead of time. Like, it's not like I had tons of money to where I could buy all the tickets ahead of time if it was to go to a concert or a play, or the play wasn't even, like, let's say we went to a school play. They didn't have everything prepared all the time right away, so I had to have some rough drafts. But that was fun putting together. I had to be creative, and then it was already, all we had to do was pick what dates to do each one each month, and that was really nice. A lot of work to go into it, but it was nice for the long run. Visit downtown. Sometimes I've lived in places where I rarely go downtown, if you've lived there long enough and some things change and you forget. So it's fun to just see all the little random shops or just notice if there's anything new. Just take a stroll together. Make pizza. These are a mix of some you can do at home or out. I tried to think of semi-cheapness because a lot of times you still have to pay a babysitter. And that's a whole nother thing. I love my babysitters. I have one main like youth one and then one adult one. And they are the best and my kids love them, which is very helpful. But payment-wise, I always feel like, oh, maybe I'm not giving enough. But you really just have to think about your family, and they can always say no to babysitting for you, so if the money is that big of a deal. But once they're an adult, they'll realize that even though it was helping them make money, the main thing is the sanity of the parents to get out of the house. Sorry, off topic. So then just go to a museum and not even do a scavenger hunt there. I can't even remember the last time I've been to a museum. I mean, there's lots of different kind of museums, but I feel like the truest time I went to one was probably when I was in school. And I think they do that more like elementary school, middle school. I don't even know if they do things like that for high schoolers. They usually go other places if they go anywhere. Take a class together. So it could be pottery, art, photography. These are all kind of artsy things. But I know that like there could be like Home Depot, I think I know they have a few things where you could like build things. And I'm not sure if there's a date night one. But it could be a building class, any type of class. Make a music video. I saw that. I thought that was really creative and fun. I don't think we would ever do that as a couple ourselves. But I've always wanted to do one. So I guess it just depends on what kind of couple you are, what things you want to go and do. Just window shopping. That's cheap. All you have to do is drive there, and you'll learn maybe future ideas for Christmas presents for your spouse, or birthday presents, or anniversary presents, just by seeing what they like in window shopping. Play video games. We've done that one. I'm mainly a Just Dance or Mario Kart kind of gal. My husband does other video games that I'd rather watch, or even not watch. He's really good at those types of video games, and so if we ever do a date night, it's usually like Just Dance, which he's only done once with me. He does not like dancing. And then Mario Kart's mainly our main video game if we ever play one together. Go hiking. Love this, and we did do this one time at least on a date, and that was really fun. You really get to have to lean on each other depending on how big of a hike it is. Watch a movie. This one we do way too often, but I love movies. We don't have the same movies that we like, but sometimes it's good to just see what your spouse likes and go to that with them. Also, you can do this at home too. You can watch one of your favorite movies that you like together. Have a picnic, indoor or outdoor. Mini golf, we've done that. That's a good go-to one. Laser tag, board games, we do this one a lot just as a nice thing to do together. I wouldn't consider it a date, but I guess in some ways it can be. We love games. That's one thing we have in common. We like games. I've heard of this idea and I've always wanted to try it, but it's called like the dollar date. So you go to any drive-through that has dollar menus, and now they're kind of $1, $2, and $3 menus, but same idea. And the dollar store. So just go to like places that are dollar worth, and that's pretty cheap date and fun. I've always wanted to do it, but never done it. on my to-do list. Let's see, bowling, which we've done. Go dancing. Haven't done this. Like I said, my husband doesn't like dancing. I do. And there's, depending on where you are, there's usually a few options of dancing too. It could be like a club dance. It could be like rodeo, cowboy type dances, hoedowns, whatever you call those. Could be like ballroom dancing somewhere. Dinner, we do this one a lot, just dinner or dessert somewhere. To change it up, you could just try new restaurants. We've done that. Since I'm a picky eater though, sometimes that can be hard. So I usually look at the menu online if they have one to see if it's even worth me going to. Let's see. The zoo. I like the zoo, but I'm also one of those people that go like one time and I'm good. Because I've seen it once, I don't need to go again. But that's me. I also don't like our zoo as much as I've liked past zoos I've been to. Sometimes it's just so much walking. Really good exercise, but a lot of walking. And I just think it's a kid thing. But some people love animals so much that the zoo is good for them all the time. So that's a great option for you. The beach, we're close enough to a beach. Now is not the time though. It's pretty cold still. So just going to the beach. Oh, this one we love, or I love. I think we all love this. We do it as like a family outing too, but geocaching. If you've never heard of it, look it up. It's way fun, and we have found a few, and it's always kind of like an adventure. Sometimes it's a hiking mix and finding like a treasure. So that's always a fun one. And cheap because you don't have to pay. Sometimes you have to bring a figurine to like trade out, but usually you have something lying around you can put in there. And then tonight I'm also gonna do like and he doesn't know this, but a newlywed type of a game. Kind of, I think it's good to every so often ask each other questions, and you're still learning from each other and about each other no matter how long you've been married or together. And I think it's good to ask questions every once in a while because sometimes answers change, or it's something I'm like, oh, I have no idea that you liked that, or you don't like this, because it's something you just don't run into all the time. And I've always wanted to be that person where I'm like, oh yeah, I know my husband. I know him like by the back of my hand. I know everything about him. But to be honest, I don't. I know enough, but I think there's so much more I can learn, and I feel like we'll never fully know each other. But asking questions in the car or just while eating, I always want to talk about the kids, and I try not to, but that's my life. That's not who I am, but it's really all I know right now. And it's one time we can talk about our kids without them overhearing in the background. So anyways, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I hope you have a good time, whether you went and had Valentine's before or after. We usually do that because sometimes it's crowded and it's not enjoyable to go out. Or we can't find a babysitter on the day because their parents are using them as a babysitter if they have younger kids. But enjoy. You should be loving your spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend all the time. But this is just a day to remind you, if you don't feel loved, this is the time where hopefully they're making sure you do know they love you. So anyways, be forgiving, have a good day, even if it goes bad or doesn't turn out right. And be safe. So, bye guys.